Hey everyone, welcome. Excuse me, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about could a BJJ practitioner knock out Mike Tyson in his best days? So this is 1988, 89, 90. That's like 91, the glory years of Mike Tyson until he got knocked out with Buster Douglas, and then Robin Givens knocked him out in court. I can honestly say no. And I mean, I'm just coming from jiu-jitsu, and this is a Royce Gracie academy. Or the instructor received his black belt from UFC, Royce Gracie. I don't think you could. I mean, in order for, you have to analyze jiu-jitsu is a closeness direction. You have to get underneath the person, then bring them close. Then you pull a guard, or you any type of waza throw, or wherever judo. I would say a judo practitioner may have a better chance than a BJJ practitioner, but Mike Tyson was so balanced. Has such, if you want to study the best killer boxer, I don't think you understood. I mean, as a kid, for one, I couldn't afford his fights because it was $59.99, and it just made no sense because he would knock him out in the first round, maybe 2, 3 at the most, and 3 is when he's really don't like the person and he just try and punish him. I don't think you could. I don't think you can do a single leg, double leg fast enough, because his movement was so fast that I don't think you could. I think you would 8-1 or 2. And even if you did, let's say Mike Tyson, if you get him off his back, you could, but he was so strong that it would take him a while to get back up. But once he got back up and he saw you, you know, after I made a round, people talk to him like, don't go after this because he's going to this is what he does. He's not, Mike Tyson was just too good. Now, from 93 on to 96, yeah, Mike Tyson was very defeatable, because he was so undisciplined. Didn't Goose Amata, I can't take his name, don't quote me, boxing purists, but after the death of his main instructor died, he just to beat Mike Tyson mean you have to kill somebody in the ring, and he literally will go and kill you. He was not trying to box you. He literally has something wrong with him, with all his life pressures and his trauma, and he bottled it up in the ring. The not grown man that easily was his dad age just knocked him smooth the F out. It was just, I never seen anybody like that. You know, people say George Foreman, and I've watched a couple of George Foreman fights, and that's no disrespect to George Foreman. I was blessed enough to see his comeback, you know, but if I put George Foreman against Mike Tyson, it would be a tough fight. But just Mike Tyson, his endurance and his foot speed, and his core was so strong, and he was so compact. I don't see how he will overextend for you to do anything. I mean, but that was, if you take Mike Tyson versus, let's say, Gracie, and they never saw each other train, and they didn't know anything about the other sport, I would think Mike Tyson would just be so dominant. There's always a chance. I mean, the closer you get, the stronger your jiu-jitsu is. That is true. The farther away, it's hard to do jiu-jitsu when you can't touch them. But Mike Tyson range was so good. His hooking left and that overhand right. By the time you sprawl on him, by the time you shoot on him, he can sprawl and just come and just do that uppercut that I don't think you could get him. And let's put this in context. Can Mike Tyson do BJJ? I mean, do BJJ or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? I think he could. I think if that was the dominant sport, as MMA is the dominant sport today, I think he could. Will he be as dominant as his boxing? I think he would not. I think he would be like 23-5. But you forgetting Mike Tyson was like 31-0 when Buster Douglas beat him. You know, the man was so out of wherever he was going. Buster Douglas just caught a very undisciplined fighter who just simply took him for granted and thought it was just gonna be another fight. He just knocked out people as much as he did before. The only thing that was a knock against Mike Tyson, no pun intended, but pun intended, was nobody can last past 3 rounds, and Mike Tyson just knocked you out before you even get 3 mount. The more he fought, though, you saw weakness. But how many fights that last? I mean, from his amateur until he was kind of defeatable by 95, 96, 94. You know, Holyfield would just have good kinetics and good boxing techniques and just as crazy endurance. And Mike Tyson kind of forgot the things that brought him to the dance. So that's how Mike Tyson, and then Father Time, you know, Father Time is never defeated. And, you know, you got all of these, Jake Paul and, you know, against Mike Tyson in his 50s. That's not even a fair comparison. Mike Tyson in his 50s can still knock out people in his 40s. That was just, you know, and the fear factor, you know, in karate, we teach you fear starts in the mind, and you start before you even enter the door, you come to dominate. And Mike Tyson was just that dude. He was just a unbelievable human being. But I would say no, Mike Tyson, I don't think would have been knocked out or been grappled. A wrestler, maybe. You know, a wrestler, any type of throws, maybe. If they had judo and jiu-jitsu both, you can probably catch them. But, man, you got to eat some punches, man. I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, there's more scientific people than I can tell you the difference. So, all right, guys, have a good one.